I just pressed record for the first time ever on my own YouTube channel. I am really excited to be doing this. I've finally started up my own YouTube channel and I've genuinely been touched, honoured at the response. My friends from the kickoff have been so supportive and I think we're up to about 4,000 subscribers already. So I'm genuinely, I'm actually for probably the first time in my life, I'm genuinely speechless. So thank you all so much for the support. I just think it's a bit of a shame that it's had to be like this, you know, me in my house on my own doing a video, because we had some big ideas. You know, I was potentially going to do something with Lawrence. He's been very generous and said that he'll come on whenever necessary. Hugh Wheezy, I was going to tap Brian up. But there are restrictions in the UK at the moment and I live in London. London's under tier 2, so they're all kaput. And it's just me. We've had a great day. I've been on the kickoff. It was a brilliant Merseyside derby. I really loved it. I feel very sorry for Liverpool. The conditions in which they lost that game are shocking when you think about it. Jordan Henderson denied what, for me, is a totally legitimate winner. I cannot believe that has been ruled out for offside. And the reasoning given, I had a little look into why. I'm actually, again, speechless. Not ideal for having my own YouTube channel. It's something to do with his armpit. His armpit was offside. I just don't know where we're going with this. I think that we're ruining the enjoyment. I often say that being a football fan is like being a junkie. We're chasing a buzz, and that buzz is a last-minute winner against your rivals. And we're being robbed of that. We're being robbed because even if the goal had stood, it now plants a seed of doubt. And moving forward, we may not celebrate the way that we intend to. It's a travesty what happened, but I suppose the talking point and the thing that everybody will be focusing on is that challenge from Pickford. I just can't understand what he's thinking. I can't understand why the referee hasn't acted, and I'm surprised that VAR didn't get involved. It's an abomination of a tackle. It's appalling. It's potentially a career ender. And I've seen one report, you know, it's just coming out now, but it was a beIN Sport report that suggested that Van Dijk's done. You know, those ligaments, they don't heal quickly. They may never heal. So I think that Jordan Pickford should be ashamed of himself, and I can't understand why action wasn't taken on the pitch at the time. Just have to hope that Virgil van Dijk recovers as soon as possible. It's going to be a real test for Liverpool now to cope without him. I imagine it will be Matip who steps in, who is a good player, but it's incomparable, isn't it, to what Virgil van Dijk offers. I think you could see the buoyancy in Everton when they realised that Van Dijk wasn't on the pitch. I think you could make a case for Dominic Calvert-Lewin not scoring that goal had Virgil van Dijk been on the pitch. So it's really trying testing times for Liverpool. They've taken 1 point out of the past 6. So that isn't what we've come to know from this Liverpool team and this Jurgen Klopp side. So I think it's their backs up against the wall for the first time in a very long time. We'll have to see how they react. But I'm truly, I'm just think it's such a shame the way that all panned out. They were so unlucky today, Liverpool, on so many fronts. That's not to take anything away from Everton. Still top of the league. Still flying high. Carlo Ancelotti, what a man he is. I think they didn't play particularly well. They did okay. They kept in the game, and it's very difficult against a team like Liverpool, who won the league so convincingly last year. So Everton did well, but they should count themselves very lucky. And if you're a Liverpool fan, I think today, if any Liverpool fans are watching, you can correct me here, but I think today would be harder to take than what we saw against Aston Villa a couple of weeks ago. Conceding 7 and Ollie Watkins and Jack Grealish pulling you apart, and it's one of those days and it all goes wrong. I think you can make your peace with that. I think you go, look, not ideal. We regroup, we start again, and we go for it, and we launch a serious and sustained bid for this title to reclaim what was ours last year. This is bad. I've been there. I've lost derby games where you just can't get your head round how you've lost it. And this is one of them. So it'll be interesting to see how they come back. But if there's one thing we know about this Liverpool team, if there's one characteristic that has been hammered into our soul from this Liverpool team, it is that they are resilient. They didn't win the European Cup. Hold up. They come back, they win it. They didn't win the Premier League. Hold up. They come back and win it. So I fear for whoever is playing Liverpool next. I think that we will see a reaction and Liverpool will be very impressive. Don't really want to do this, but naturally we're going to have to talk Chelsea, aren't we? And we have to talk about Frank Lampard. There's nowhere else to go. I think he's been let down by certain players on the pitch. I think we're very unlucky that Mendy was injured. Kepa Arrizabalaga was back in goal. And naturally, for Southampton's second goal, he does what we expect. He did exactly what we expect him to do. I think Kurt Zouma didn't cover himself in glory. But I don't know what Kepa is doing there. It was atrocious goalkeeping, but it's goalkeeping that we expect from him. He is not a good enough keeper. I actually don't even think he's a good enough second string keeper now. We've seen today, Mendy's injured, he comes in, we concede goals that we shouldn't. He cannot be around the team. He cannot be, he's not a Premier League player. He is at best, at very best, a third choice keeper. So the fact that he's on the pitch today, it's an uphill battle. You're totally up against it. And Southampton are dangerous. You have to be careful. And they proved it. They played very well. They gave us a torrid time. I think you could make a case for them winning the midfield battle. I don't think Kante had his best game, and our midfield is just toothless. We just don't have enough in there. Midfielders that we've come to admire and adore from bygone eras, Michael Ballack, Michael Essien, Frank Lampard, they dominate the midfield. Everything that they did in midfield, I love. We don't get any of that from these midfielders at the moment. Jorginho, Kovacic, it doesn't matter who it is. You don't get that. It's all very lightweight, it's all very pretty, but nobody is fighting. Nobody is winning the ball and driving the teams to victory that perhaps they don't deserve. So, it's a real shame, and I think Lampard may have got it wrong. But he's a young manager, he's a new manager, we have to be patient, and Roman Abramovich is going to have to do something very different for him, which is back a manager, sit back and wait, because Frank Lampard will become one of the best managers in the world. I truly do believe that. But he's going to have to be given the time. So I just hope that happens. I suppose I'm looking for a bright spark and a bright point to talk about to finish up the Chelsea chat. And there is obviously one place to go, and that is the mercurial brilliance of Timo Werner. It's unbelievable. What a goal, what a performance, what a man. He is electrifying. He's everything that we wanted him to be. And moving him central, playing him there, is exactly where we want him. So I think that Lampard will do that now. I think we'll see Timo Werner playing through the middle, scoring goals. And it's not really a problem. Going forward isn't a problem. We have to work out what is going on behind Werner, because it's just not good enough. We're conceding so many goals. I think it's 59 goals in 40-odd games. You're just never going to get anywhere, are you? So yeah, not ideal on that front at all. And I've just seen Arsenal play. They've just finished this second. I didn't think they were very good. And I think that Mikel Arteta has become a bit of a hipster's choice. People like what Arteta has done. And anyone who's ever watched anything I've ever done before will know how highly I rate trophies. Trophies are what it's all about. And the fact that Arteta won the FA Cup is massive. The fact that he won the Charity Shield within the same month, I wouldn't say it's massive, but it's relevant. It's something to discuss. It's something that we should bring up and acknowledge. I see this season, I'm just not so sure with Arteta. Very uninspiring performance today, very flat, very defensive. I think Guardiola will be relieved, because Guardiola versus Arteta is not ideal for Guardiola. So he needed that victory. He got it. But I think that he did very well. Guardiola, I think he got it right. It wasn't easy because of certain team selection issues. But Arsenal looked fairly flat, I thought. And they weren't as impressive as I thought they'd be this season. They looked fairly flat against West Ham. And I suppose it's not since the opening day where they pulverised Fulham. They just seem to be so defensive. It's actually Conte-esque, the way that Arteta plays. It seems to be a very defensive-based guidance, which works at times. But I think they need a little bit more to offer when they come up against the Premier League elite, which Manchester City are. So, I think work to do for Arsenal as well. But today will all be about Liverpool and what this means for the title. Manchester United are about to kick off in about, half hour? So I'll be tuning into that. But I will say thank you all so much for tuning into this video. Thank you all for subscribing. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do it. It really does. Let me know if it's worth pursuing with this, because it's been a long time coming, and a lot of people have been incredibly supportive. I've got to give a special mention actually to Elliot Hackney, who I'm sure a lot of you know. He's really been a driving force and very supportive, and helped me set all this up. So please subscribe to him as well as me. And I will look forward to seeing you all on the next video. I'm going to try and do something rather exciting midweek. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you all on the next one.